So it should be getting, yeah. All right, so it's live now. Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining Hindi University. Very good participation today. And folks who are watching, live on, YouTube, thanks so much for joining as well. In this Hindi class, we'll be covering a new topic, which is like conversation over a cup of coffee. So I thought, like yesterday, I was thinking about the topic myself, and then I was at Starbucks, and I realized that what kind of things usually people talk when they're at coffee shop, and I thought it would be a very good, nice, casual, conversation that you'll have, right? And it'll make a good, interesting topic. So as I go through this particular class, right, feel free to share, your thoughts or comments on the comment box or on the YouTube comments about things that you usually talk or you have seen people talking about, like in because some of the cultures they have like a specific significance, like when you meet old friends over a cup of coffee, like you really like to catch up on various different things, right? Childhood memories, college, school. So I'll cover a lot of that. Sometimes over a cup of coffee you do a lot of networking also, right? I mean, such as like you meeting like a client or a or employer or someone, business meeting kind of a thing, right? But for the sake of this class, I'll keep it light, and I'll keep it as if like you are meeting your old friend, right? And you are really excited about meeting them and things that you talk in that particular conversation. So let's get started. Some of those things are very basic. Some of the things, as usual, will get advanced as we, uh, move toward the end of the class. So my aim here is like by the end of this class, you will be able to carry a good conversation with anyone in Hindi whenever you meet them over a cup of coffee or chai, right? Um, so as I mentioned, the theme here is like meeting an old friend. And I'm going to give you variation of that as well, like all the sentences that we are talking about, how those can be applied in other contexts as well, right? Um, so the very first thing, I have like 10 different kind of sentences here. So the very first thing is that you really want to, if someone is really intimate, like you want to say how are you, right? So far we have learned a very formal way of saying it, which is आप कैसे आप कैसे हैं, right? Very formal. But if you're really meeting your friend, right, or a very close associate, you will not really refer them, um, you know, up, right? Similarly, the order of the, these word changes. Like here, you have like your pronoun, and then your kaise, your interrogative, and then you have your hai, which is to be form of the verb, SOV. But when you're really meeting someone really close or intimate, the order is changing, and then all of a sudden you'll say tu. Actually, order remains, this way only. Uh, tu kaisa hai? Either you say that, or you can also say kaisa hai, kaisa hai tu. And it's primarily because you're so close to them, that you are kind of like, you're becoming a little bit informal in the order, and that's why you're saying like kaisa hai tu, right? Or tu kaisa hai, right? Again, it's the main idea here is like it's kind of showing that you are meeting someone after a long time and you're really excited about it, right? This is like if you're meeting someone, because you're saying hey, it's basically a male. You're talking to someone masculine, right? Male. The same thing if you want to say to a female. Either you can say to कैसी है, or कैसी है तू? And two again, it's like a informal way of saying you. That's why we are using it, right? We've done a lot of formal stuff, That's why I wanted to kind of like keep it a little bit informal conversation that you would really have over a cup of coffee. Okay. Um, any question here before I, move on? Feel free to, kind of share your thoughts as well. Um, And if any insight you can share about your own language as well, feel free to do that, that way at least we can capture the spirit of it. Fine, let's move on. The next thing, that comes to your mind is like, especially if you're meeting someone after, a long time, you say it's been a while, right? It's been a while. You want to give it a try? How will you say that? Feel free to write down on the YouTube comment, as well as on the folks who are like joining in the panel. You can write it here as well. So I'm going to give you some time, so that way you can you get to try. How do you say this? It's been a while. How do you say that? नहीं पता. Okay. Anyone? Okay, मुझे भी. Okay. So it's basically the way you're saying it is like you have to kind of define the um, you'll say two three ways. Okay, one way would be बहुत दिन हो गए. बहुत दिन हो गए. That's one way of saying it. Give me 1 minute so I can mute everyone. Okay. बहुत दिन हो गए. बहुत, it's like as you know, it's a lot. Then it's here is referring to days. Ho is coming from hona, the verb. Okay. And gaye is the past form of kind of ho chu. Okay. So think of it as jana, right? So in the past you're using it as gaye. बहुत दिन हो गए हैं. You're basically implying that it's been a while since I've seen you, right? I mean, it's a short form of that. It's a little bit longer, but to keep it shorter, you can say बहुत again. बहुत is a lot or many. Din is day. So if you think perfect, like it, and what you're saying here. What you're saying here is like indirectly, it's बहुत दिन हो चुके. Folks who are watching it, like you've not seen earlier lectures. चुका है in scenarios when it is present perfect, where you have already accomplished some of the things. There is a notion of have or has, right? हो चुके हैं. If you don't want to use चुके हैं. It's similar to like in English you have go, went, and gone, right? Whenever you use have or has, you similarly in Hindi also. also, you are not using ho jana, right? You are instead of ho jana, you use which is gaya, right? Uh, Another simple example would be main ja raha hu. You say main gaya, I went, right? So that's like the versus gaya, right? And then now keep it simple. You can simply say बहुत दिन हो गए, and then you can either say मिले हुए, मिले हुए. मिलना is to meet, मिले हुए, right? Since we have met, or since I have seen you, right? देखे हुए. Just a quick note, just mute yourself in case if you have not done so. I'll open it up for panel discussion toward the end, so that way, if you have any questions, you can make sure you mute yourself. I'm able to do for some of the people, but feel free to do that. Okay, move on. Right. So I said like मिले हुए, मिलना is like to meet. Since I have met you, to meet. देखे हुए, देखना is to see. Since I've seen you, to see, right? Since I've seen you. Um, Now you can also say बहुत दिन हो गए. That's like a first form, like first type, second type. Since we have spoken, sometimes you say that as well, right? बहुत दिन हो गए बोले हुए, and बोलना is to speak. So I'm just trying to give you variety here. Um, so basically, if you see, right, if you look at it, what you're doing is like you're changing the verb, the way it ends. Where you have milna, you're replacing the last, you're replacing the na with, mile. It's not mile, it's mile. Similarly, like, dekhna, right? So you're replacing na with e, देखे हुए, right? Um, बोलना, you're replacing like बोलना with बोले हुए, since we have spoken, right? So it's been a while since we have met. It's been a while since we have seen each other, and similarly, it's been a while since we have, met or spoken with each other. Now, let me quiz you here. Like, think about some of the similar sentences that you'll make, and I'm sure you probably have written it down. So let me erase some of the things. So just to quiz you guys, I'm gonna, uh, you know, make some more varieties, and I'm gonna ask you to write those in Hindi. So first thing would be, let's say, it's been a while since we have walked. Let's say that's the first sentence that you have to say in Hindi or write in Hindi. Um, it's been a while since I have or we have laughed. Let's say. So it should be really simple. All you have to know is like the verb, how to say this verb, and then change the ending of the verb. Let's see. So I'm going to give you like a minute, and then see if you can write down the entire sentence. Write down the entire sentence actually. Write it along with this so that way you'll be. वेरी गुड राइट, बहुत दिन हो गए हमें मिले हुए. ओके. सो okay, thank you so much. So here the way you will say it. So imagine that you are going on a walk after a while. Like you will say बहुत दिन हो गए. Either you can say हमें if you're talking about a group of people like you, or you can say मुझे चले हुए. Right? It's been a while after I'm walking. You know. That's the first one. Or if you can also say बहुत दिन in the second one हो गए मुझे इतना हंसे हुए. I said itna because like I'm assuming a scenario where like someone or you just laughed a lot basically, right? Where you are like that's why you're saying itna a lot. That it's been a while since I've laughed so much, right? So I try it a little bit more. Um, I have danced. Let's try one more thing. Since so right now I will also you know it, and then we'll move to the next one. Straightforward now that we have two different type of. No, no, no. The entire sentence is like it's been a while since I have danced. So most of the structure should remain the same. So the first part should remain the same. Only place where it will change is like instead of verb, basically the verb will change here. That's it. Everything should remain as is. Very good, right? So it's pretty much you're saying बहुत दिन हो गए मुझे नाचे हुए. It's been a while since I have danced. Very good, right? Thank you so much for doing this, and let's move on to the next one. So I would say like you should practice a little bit more on this particular thing. Think about more verbs that you usually use commonly in this context. Like it's been a while I have done this thing, and you know, in fact, this sentence, it's been a while I have done this. The verb would be karna, right? But